Hello there, fourth grade scientists. It's Mrs. Steele. We are going to be doing lesson 3 called Process and Respond of our unit called Organisms Receive and Process Info. Now, you should have received an envelope on distribution day. That seems like it's empty, but perhaps you held it up to the light and saw something's there. You're going to need this. Don't open it yet, though. Leave it there. Some of you I know have probably opened it. Leave it there. Not yet. I promise you're going to open it in just a few minutes. So if you need to, pause me, go find your envelope, and then come on back, and we're going to get started. Okay. So I am going to show you a picture, and I want you to name the colors you can see. Black and blue, white and gold, or other. Those are typically the colors seen. So, ready for this? What color? Now, what's crazy here is we're all looking at the same picture. Some of you, and you don't know this because you're by yourself, this is part of that challenge. Some of you said black and blue. Some of you are shaking my head at me. You're like, no, I didn't. Some of you see white and gold. Some of you may see other. What I want you to do is this. If you have anyone else in the house, anyone, have them come. Be like, what color is this dress? And I want you to ask them. So, if you need to, pause me right now. Find anyone in the house that can come look and answer this question. What color is this dress? If you need to, pause me now and then come on back. Okay. So, I'm going to tell you, when I see this dress, I see it in white and gold. Now, I've been working with this picture for a very long time, so after a while, I started to see it in black and blue, which was crazy to me, and I can switch how it is. That's a whole different science. But I needed to get some data for you guys so you guys can see just about how many see this in white and gold and how many of you see it in black and blue. So I asked a random-ish sample. It's people I do know, so it's not super random. It is a group, but it was up to them if they wanted to participate, and 117 people got back to me on this picture on what they saw. You ready for this? 53 people saw black and blue. 64 people saw white and gold. It's not quite half and half, but it's like a 45% and a 55%. More people saw white and gold, where other people saw black and blue. How is this possible? We are all seeing the same dress. We all have a direct line, right, to that dress. Yet, we're seeing different things. What is going on here? What is going on? Once again, poll your family or ask a parent if they're willing to share this image via social media, or text it to some friends, or email it to find out what they see. So they can Google the dress, and it's going to come up with this picture, the dress, and see what your family says. Call a friend right now. If you have a friend in your class, and be like, did you watch the video? What color did you see? Okay? It is really cool. And I wish we were in class so you could be like, what? That is totally not white and gold, or that's totally not black and blue. But we are seeing different things. Whew. Crazy. Okay, so I am going to model this particular dress, okay? So first of all, we have the dress, which is our source of information, right? That's what we see. Now, do we know the light source? We know that it has to be lit to be seen, but do we know what the light source is from that picture? We don't. We don't know if the sun's lighting it up. We don't know if it's artificial light. So I'm just going to write that it's an unknown light source, because we know it's being lit by something, but it's unknown. Okay, and that is lighting the dress. And we do need to record that as path of light. Okay, next, what needs to happen, right? Direct path to our eye, which we all have. Now, do you remember what that's called? That's our reflection of light. Remember, once it hits the object, which we know the light, whatever the light source is hitting the object, there's reflection happening off it, which makes us able to see. Okay, so this model we have seen already before. We've done this, right? We know that there's light and a path to the eye. Keep going over that. Now, we've got one other thing going on here. Oh, we know that. Okay, our brain. And this is known as processing, okay? So here's that part that we talked a little bit about, said you didn't have to know yet. But we process what we're seeing into our brain, and that is telling us the color. But we're all seeing different colors. We are going to do a lab right now, and it's called Process and Respond, and it's kind of fun. So once again, you're going to need your envelope nearby, so if you need to, pause and go ahead and grab that. Okay, hopefully you have your envelope. Don't open it yet. We're going to get to it in just a minute. Okay, also you should have this Google document that was either sent to you via Google Classroom, it may have been sent via Seesaw, or just through your Google. So this is what we're going to fill out. We are going to have a source of information, kind of like the dress. We're going to identify which senses we used to process that information. Process, what did your brain think? So here's a key. You have to pay attention to what your brain is thinking. I know that sounds silly, but we don't always do that. So when I do something or something occurs, I want you to go, what did my brain just think? What did it do? And then response, that's our output. Our input is the information we're getting, and the output is our response. Now, people have different responses to things. Now, you still have no clue what we're doing. That's okay. But whatever we do, I want you to kind of pay attention to what happens to you, your brain, and perhaps your body. So what did you do with the information? Did you take some sort of action? Did you physically move? Let's say the source of information is an earthquake. Chances are your action is, I'm moving, okay? Perhaps it's just perception of environment. That's just kind of what your surroundings are. For example, when you go into your classroom the first time, you probably take note of all the parts in the room. There's the library, there's the teacher's desk, there's the smartboard, there's the door, right? So you are storing that as a memory, which we'll get to that in a moment. But as you keep going back to school every day, are you really paying attention to the library, or do you just know that the library is right over there? That's your perception. It's just part of your environment. So you're literally not taking an action, and you're not really thinking about it. That's perception of environment. And the last is storing it from memory. So if I say an earthquake, you get down and then you're like, oh, I remember the last earthquake. So perhaps it triggers a memory, or this is going to be creating some sort of a memory for future. Hopefully that makes sense. As we go through, we will do some more. Now we're going to do 4 of these, and your paper has a lot more. Don't worry about that. We're just doing 4. Okay. Here we go. So I'm going to do something, and I want you to pay attention to how you're thinking, and if you take any action, or perhaps a memory. Ready? Did you do anything? What was that? Think about it. Okay, so we're going to go back to our paper, and the information is you heard a meow, a cat, right? Now, what sense did you just use? Your ears, which is your hearing, okay? So you're going to type meow or cat, kitten, whatever you want to do. And then on the document, we have our senses here. Now, I'm going to show you how to check that box off. So you're going to go, type meow. And then here, we're going to do the here. So you're going to actually highlight it. So click on the box. Sometimes it highlights all the boxes. Click it again just to get that one highlight box. Okay. Once you have that highlight box, you're going to right click, and it's going to bring up the menu of bullets. And you go ahead and choose that little check mark. Check. And there you go. It is there. Now, there's a chance that you're going to use more than one sense. And if that's the case, you can check off multiple. Like, for example, if I was holding a cat and it was meowing, you're obviously using your sense of hearing and your sense of sight. For me, I'd be using my sense of hearing, sight, and touch. So keep that in mind. Now, hopefully you still remember when you heard that cat meow, what were your brain thinking? Or did you not think at all? So I had 2 reactions when I've done this before. Oh, a kitten, I want to play. Or, oh no, I'm allergic to cats, because I am. I have to tell you a story. I don't have a cat next to me. I have a little remote. And I got out of my car this morning and the remote was in my bag. And I just got out of the car and I must have hit the button. for the cat to start meowing. And I looked around going, oh my gosh, there's a kitten near my car. So I had a response as I started looking around for a cat. I would put that as an action, and my brain was, oh no, there's a kitten at work where it shouldn't be. So I would write those two things down. So now your action. Now, did you have an action? Did you, oh, there's a cat. Oh, she's going to show us a kitten. Perhaps you said something out loud. Perhaps you moved and got really excited. If you did, you did an action. If you didn't, you didn't. Perhaps it's just perception of environment. Now, that might not be likely on this one, but if you have a cat at home and you hear the cat meow, but you're not really doing anything because it's normal, that's just your environment. Or perhaps it triggered a memory. Okay, so there's a lot of different things you can do here. So an action, I said aw, or this morning I was worried. Okay, so you're going to record your data on your Google document. Now I'm going to do a couple more activities with you. Feel free to pause me anytime to record your data. Now I do want you to record your data after every single one, because if you wait too long, you're going to be like, uh-oh, what did I do? So make sure you're pausing me. All right, our first one, we did our cat. So that was the first one. Now I'm going to do another one. And you're going to look at me. Oh, let me get him out. Okay, here we go. Hopefully you can see him. Here he comes. Here he comes. Oh, you see him? Tarantula. Okay. Did you have a reaction, or what did you think? Did you think, oh my gosh, she's holding a spider? Or that's not real? Or did you scream a little? This is why I wish we were in the classroom, because I would have this spider out walking around. And some of you would tense up because you don't like spiders. So think about, what did you do? Pause me. Make sure you put your input is a spider. What sense? Sight. And then what did you think? What did your brain do? And then did you take an action? Did you shudder? Did you say cool? Did you say something? Was it just an environment? Probably not. Or do you have a memory? Does this trigger something for you? Or you're just going to store it in your brain for memory? Okay, go ahead and pause, fill out that, and then come on back. Okay, the next one's pretty fun. So you're going to open up your envelope, and inside you should have two. Not one, but two. And it's 2 stickers. Now, everyone has a variety of stickers. Now, they may look like this. Some of you have ones with food on it, which is different. So now, these are scratch and sniff stickers. So what senses are we using? Smell. And we actually are using sight. Now, sight's an important one because I'm going to tell you, some of you have certain stickers that have an object on it, and the sense may be different. I don't want to tell you who. So you're going to just do one sticker right now. Be careful not to get them both next to each other, because your nose is actually extremely sensitive. So you're going to scratch it, if you've never done a scratch and stick, and then you're going to smell it. Pay attention to your reaction, your thoughts, what you're doing. Oh, I got a lucky sticker. My first thought in my head was, it's clean laundry. This smells like clean laundry. And I paid attention because I closed my eyes. And maybe that's because if you ever get some warm, clean laundry, you snuggle it up and smell. So I had an action. I closed my eyes. I also had a memory of it smells like laundry, but that's also what I thought in my brain. So go ahead, pause, record, and then you're going to do the same for the second one. So when you're ready, go ahead. Ooh. Oh, I had an action. I actually said ooh out loud. My thought was, it's sweet like watermelon, and then I thought, oh, it's like Jolly Rancher. So I have a stored memory of Jolly Rancher smell. I also said ooh, so I had more than one. Ooh, awesome. Maybe you didn't get a pleasant one. There are some unpleasant stickers out there. And I think the one that is the most unpleasant is the avocado one. If you have that one, I'm sorry. But there's some other ones, some savory food ones that you probably had some good reactions. I can't wait to hear about it on your document. Okay, so now that you've recorded your information, let's move ahead. So now you are going to create a model of what we just did. From one of them, you can choose the cat sound, the sticker, or the spider. And I'll show you how we do that. Here's a gotta have it checklist. You're going to include the source of information, which is the object, the senses you used. So we're just going along that document, what your brain did, processing, the response. And then if you used the sticker or the spider, you're going to add the light source, the path of light, and the reflection, because what are you using? Your sight. And with sight means you must have your light source and the path of light and reflection that goes with it. So, and that goes for the stickers too. So I'm going to show you the cat information right now. So my source of information is the cat. Check. Next, I'm going to do my senses. For my cat, I was just using my ears. So I hear the cat. Next, check. Processing to the brain. Just draw an arrow, processing brain, right? Check. Now my response from my brain. My response was, oh. Or perception could have been, oh, there's a cat right here. Or memory, playing as cats as a kid. Just an example. So this would be a complete model because I was using my ears, not my eyes. Now I'll show you a quick one with eyes in case you want to see it. It gets a little bit trickier, but that's what scientific modeling is all about. And it's okay if your drawing is completely crazy looking. I love it. Okay, so here it is all completed. Now, once again, source of information, right? Here's my source of information, a garbage can sticker. Okay, check. Now what senses? Now because it's a sticker, I have my sight and my nose. So my senses are nose and eyes. So I'm going to draw a picture of both of them. And I'm going to draw a line from the garbage can to the nose because I smelled it. And a line from the garbage can to the eyeball because I saw it. Now that changes things, right? Our perception. If you saw a picture of a pizza, you're probably like, oh, I'm so excited. But when you smelled it, it may not have smelled like pizza, and that really changes how you think and perceive something, right? Okay, so now I have my senses. So I have my stick, and now I'm going to do my processing to the brain. So I'm going to draw a picture from an arrow from my nose to the brain, because my nose responded, and my eyes, both. Check. Now my response. What did I do? So from the brain and my mouth, I get, ooh! I probably should also do an action like my face scrunched up. Okay, now I got my response. Now I'm actually going to go back and do light source. So I kind of put the gotta have it checklist in the order of how you should draw it because it makes it easier. So my light source, I am just under regular light, so I just drew a light bulb right there, just lights. My path of light, obviously the light is shining down on my sticker. And then the reflection of light, I just label it from the garbage can to the eye because that's where the reflection happens. And that is a completed model. All right, I'm going to show you, because some of you really want to know what color that dress is. So I'm going to show you what color is this dress. I see some of you are already asking, that color is spelled wrong. I will tell you that this video is European and they spell color with a U. So here we go.
Alright, so the world has seemingly become utterly divided on this dress. What colors do you see? On the one hand, we have team black and blue. On the other, team white and gold. We asked on Twitter and got hundreds of responses for both white and gold and black and blue. For what it's worth, we both saw black and blue and thought this was a massive prank at first. So how can it be possible for people to see it so differently? It's a phenomenon known as color constancy. Take this cube, for example. The middle square on the top appears to be a shade of brown, while the one on the side looks much more orange. But in actuality, they're both the exact same color. We promise we haven't cheated here or done any trick photography. Instead, our brain looks at the context, sees a shadow, and instantly thinks, oh, shadows make objects appear darker. And so the brain compensates and interprets the square as lighter than it appears, until the shadow is taken away. Back to the dress, and we have a similar situation, except here the context is very arbitrary. We're so close up to the dress that we don't really know its surroundings, and the brain has to make assumptions. People who picture the dress as white have brains which may be interpreting the dress in a blue lit room, for example, as in it's near a window with a bright blue sky. It makes perfect sense then that the white dress would be tinted blue and that the gold color wouldn't really change. On the other hand, the brains of people who see it as black and blue may be interpreting the dress in an artificially lit setting like somewhere with yellow lights. As a result, the brain sees the gold as just a reflection off of the black and believes that the blue has been unaffected. Chances are that this image just happens to be perfectly ambiguous to our brain, meaning it all comes down to individual perception and even how and where you view the image. From a factual standpoint, the dress is blue. In fact, here are some other pictures of it. But this is a beautiful example of how our brains have evolved to interpret the world around us without us even realizing.
How cool is that? So if you saw white and gold, chances are your brain assumed that this was being lit by a window, that it was being lit by natural light, sunlight. And if you saw black and gold, you assume that it was being lit by like overhead lights. So it's just because it's so close up that this occurs. We can't see the light source. So awesome job, scientists. I can't wait to see how you reacted and processed and responded to different stimuli. And I'll see you next time. Bye.